From leaked classified files of unidentified aerial objects, commission. An alien spaceship hovers close to the ground under the cover of night. Inside is a team of aliens communicating with each other telepathically about intercepting virtual reality headsets on Earth and replacing the images with disturbing, realistic thoughts or memories of the human wearing the device. Their goal is to conquer humanity and strip the Earth of its rich natural resources not found on their planet. They are under pressure to complete this mission quickly from their commander aboard the mothership docked on the dark side of the moon. Alien Commander: how are we selecting these humans? Alien Lieutenant: at random worldwide, just like abductees. Human. 1. Anthony, a young male professional software designer in Lexington Park, Maryland, watches his favorite motivational video on his VR headset and then selects his favorite men's clothing site to purchase a new suit for the upcoming virtual launch of his latest software program. Suddenly, the image of designer suits changes to a scary clown video. He is stunned at first, but quickly regains his composure. The aliens, who are invisible and undetectable to humans, anxiously await his anticipated breakdown. Their victory turns into defeat after the young man regains his composure and shakes his head from side to side because he conquered his fear of clowns when he was 12 years old. Alien Commander. Unhappy and disappointed, she asks her colleague, "Why isn't he terrified? The memory is still in his subconscious but did not result in madness." Alien Lieutenant: "I think you went back too far in his memories to recover that fear. You'll do better on the next one. From research, I think these humans are easy to manipulate. Let's try an older female human next, who may be easier to break down." Human. 2. Margaret, a middle-aged female in Caldwell, Idaho, is watching hummingbirds through her VR headset, and suddenly, without warning, the video changes to a money counter on a table with loose paper currency and a briefcase full of bundled stacks of cash. She moans as she grabs her headset and tries to yank it off, but it won't budge. She begins to moan, "No, no, no," and cries uncontrollably as she recalls her former life as an embezzler that stole millions of dollars from her clients at the insurance agency. Margaret is feeling faint after viewing her duplicitous past, so she drops to the ground, lays on the grass, and regresses to a childlike state of mind while pretending to catch butterflies. Seeing the past play out in front of her eyes was too much for her to cope, because she is constantly in fear of arrest while hiding from the feds. Alien Lieutenant turns to his colleague and congratulates her on a successful, mind-altering exercise. Alien Commander nods her head in agreement, turns toward the console, and uses telepathy to tune in to their next subject. The spaceship flies to a new location. This time it hovers over a middle school. Human 3. Jason, a 12-year-old male in Charlotte, North Carolina, finally takes his first turn to use the VR headset in his classroom. He was excited about using it and anxiously waited for his turn. He is now enjoying a fun-filled amusement park video while his classmates poke fun at him for having a fun viewing experience. Alien Lieutenant takes control of the VR telepathically and projects a frightening video. Immediately reacting to the terrifying image, the tween jumps backward and lets out a scream as he snatches the VR from his head and throws it down on a nearby desk, and it falls to the floor. His teacher, Mr. Santos, and classmates are stunned and demand to know what happened. Jason couldn't move his legs and made heavy wheezing noises as he grabs his chest due to airway constriction, and then reaches in his pocket for an inhaler, takes 2 deep puffs, and regains his regular breathing. His classmates run up to him and asks what happened. What did he see? These questions were coming at him all at once from everywhere, and he slides down into the nearest seat and strains to speak with all the breath he can muster. With a squeaky voice, he says, T-Rex tried to eat me. It was so real, I thought I was a goner. Everyone in the classroom just looks at each other and at him with bewilderment. When Mr. Santos picks up the VR headset and looks through the lens, all he sees is an amusement park video. He then walks over to Jason, grabs him by the arm, pulls him out of his seat, and escorts him to the principal's office, where he calls his dad to pick him up because he is suspended. The aliens gain more confidence because 2 successes out of 3 indicates that world domination is at hand. Alien Scientist 1 performed a mathematical probability formula for their next experiment. This one will take all the concentration they could transmit, and they had to be in closer proximity to the humans. The aliens hovered the cloaked spaceship over the building and transported inside. They remain undetected because they were invisible. Humans. 4. The next subjects are theme park design buyers from Ohio, and the location is Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The group of about 200 are seated in an experimental interactive theater to test smell-o-vision with live-action simulated amusement ride seats while watching a conceptual theme park presentation. Feeling confident that conquering humans would be possible through telepathic mind control transmitted through VR headsets, the aliens combined all of their energy simultaneously to project a video of falling down a mountain during an avalanche. Unexpectedly, inside the dark theater, one of the buyers dropped his ring on the floor, flicked on a lighter, and whoosh! In a flash, every person and every object was reduced to rubble. After the fire, the arson investigators and fire inspectors could not explain why the blaze was only confined to the theater and nowhere else in the building. The aliens escaped unharmed because of the force field that surrounded them. Alien Lieutenant: This is a major setback for our mission. We can't control humans one by one because it takes too long, and the outcome is uncertain. We also can't control them in a large setting because of the telepathic energy it takes to reach a multitude of people, and that outcome could result in a catastrophic loss of life. Alien Commander: Yes, this is an unfortunate incident, but we can learn from this disaster and try other methods as previously agreed. Alien Scientist 1 concludes that a combination of the alien energy, the spark from the lighter, combined with the chemicals in the air that created the smell-o-vision, caused the unusual catastrophic blaze that reduced the room to cinders. The aliens were disturbed at the sight of the flash fire that caused the devastating deaths of the buyers and their hosts. After the explosion, you would think this would curtail their diabolical plan, but it didn't. The aliens are more determined than ever to take over this planet while keeping in mind that a majority of humans have to survive as part of their plan. After the aliens recover from the shock of what they just witnessed, they return to the spaceship and decided to select a single subject for their next experiment to keep the momentum in motion. This time, his home was scanned for any possible flammable particles that would ignite when combined with their telepathic energy. The aliens connected to the subject's VR headset to determine what he was viewing. Alien Commander: Let's go back to experimenting with a single subject and try a different approach this time. Instead of probing his fears, we can project a frightening image that will seem real to him, something that is unexpected. Human Subject 5. Francisco, a 14-year-old male in Salvador, Brazil, is enjoying his underwater adventure through the VR headset. While scuba diving and enjoying the wonderful sea life of the Pacific Ocean, suddenly, a large shadow casts darkness above him, blocking out the sun rays shining through the clear blue waters to the ocean depths below. The playful school of clownfish frolic through the anemone fade into the abyss, and a darker shade of blue appears teeming with a smack of beautiful but deadly spotted white jellyfish. He suddenly feels an ominous presence, and as he looks up, a great white shark swimming toward him with his mouth wide open and ready for the attack. Francisco is caught by surprise because he looked at this video before and only saw fish and other harmless sea creatures. He quickly grabs the goggles and rests them on his head. He freezes for a second and then with amazement says, "Wow, this is cool. I'll have to show the guys." "Nossa, isso é legal. Vou ter que mostrar pra galera." He runs out of the house, slamming the storm door behind him as he clutches the goggles with a mix of emotions ranging from astonishment to perplexity. Alien Lieutenant. I don't understand these humans. I thought all of them had the same mindset since they all have the same genetic origin, unlike our planet. This is frustrating, but we cannot give up. It is too important for the continuation of our species. I agree that it is a good idea to choose another female, but at the rate we are going, this may take longer than anticipated. What is your opinion, Commander? Alien Commander. We can try a different approach. We have not reached the level of mind control to conquer this planet. We'll program our telepathic energy to connect with a human with strong negative energy surrounding their aura. The next female subject will be chosen at random, just as the previous ones. Alien Lieutenant. What will this accomplish? Alien Commander. I will explain my new plan after the experiment is concluded. Himari, a successful middle-aged female club owner in Osaka, Japan, reviews her latest cash flow statement on her VR headset. Little does she know that two invisible aliens observe her actions with plans in place for world domination. Alien Commander turns and nods to Alien Lieutenant, and he diverts his telepathic energy directly to her. After a few seconds, Alien Lieutenant stumbles backward due to the intense hatred emanating from Himari. Alien Commander catches him before he falls and quickly activates the force field to block the feeling of intense hatred, something that neither of them had experienced before because this emotion is unknown in their species. They have no qualms about dominating a lesser-developed civilization, but committing malice aforethought is inconceivable. When the aliens probed her memories, they saw the physical confrontation she had with her philandering husband Minato and his mistress Yuzuki that she caught in the act. The aliens were shaken up by the buildup of anger inside of her that resulted in her depraved state of mind. It was almost as if she was controlling their minds as they felt every emotion she experienced when she drove over to Minato's mistress's house dressed like a ninja, all in black, with two swords strapped to her back. Himari entered in through an unlocked sliding patio door and followed the music to the right side of the house. She spotted her intended target and then tiptoed into the kitchen where Yuzuki is fixing a salad. When the young woman turned around abruptly after hearing a noise, she shrieked when faced with the menacing-looking intruder. Himari reached for the swords tied to her back and fatally stabbed the unsuspecting woman to death with a double thrust. It was then when Himari stared at the lifeless body for a second, closed her eyes in relief, wiped the bloody swords on kitchen towels, strapped them to her back, and turned toward her left as she made way through the rooms and exited through the patio doors, just as she came in. Even after the memories of the cold-blooded murder that she perpetrated played on her VR headset right before her eyes, Himari still felt no remorse for her deadly actions 3 months ago. Since the murder is unsolved, her self-justification was victorious instead of villainous. To be continued. Please like this video, ring the notification bell, leave comments, and consider becoming a subscriber. Your feedback will help us to provide relevant content focused on the AI revolution.